Digital dawn. Break the code. Lights on. Qubic mode. Neon rain on the city skin. Clock hits one, we're booting in. Clean signal, no static lies. Wide open like midnight skies. Hands up, we move as one. Pulse locked in the kicking drum. True flows when the bassline hits. Room lights up, the cipher fits. No fear, no walls, just motion. Mind to mind like ocean. Say the word, ignite. We're live in the neon light. We're live in the neon light. Qubic, light it up. Cold starts dreaming when we show up.
Oh, I'm muted. I'm so sorry. Everyone, welcome. Hello, it's Thursday. It's AMA time. Thank you guys all for being here. We have a lot to share today, and we're going to dive right in. Just a quick run through of the agenda. We're going to start with a scientific team update. We're going to then go to a tech update, an incubation update, a marketing update, the new governance framework that has been approved, and then we will save time at the end for a live Q&A. Hello, everybody, wherever you're tuning in from. Thanks for joining us. If it's your first time here, be sure to tell us where you're tuning in from. And please, please, please share this stream with your audience. I'm going to add David of the scientific team. And
hello.
Do we just have you today?
Yep, I guess, yep.
Okay, awesome. Welcome. Hello, nice to see you.
Yeah, glad to see you again. I guess Jose will be also joining. I think he's just parking or whatever, getting into the parking lot. So maybe he will be short, in short time there. So yes, I can start. So yep, hello everybody. Nice to be back.
Nice to have
so
you. Tell us
what's
going on.
Yeah, what's going on? Well, a lot of things have been going on. As you know, we have been working heavily on Uraxon for a lot of time, and over the last, more or less more than a month and a few weeks, we have been exploring how to keep improving what we are doing in the Uraxon setup. And if you remember, we have developed this game of life, basically the simulation where we can put all these Uraxoners to live and to do things there, and to try to be proactive and recreate and start to grasp some sort of intelligence. And with all these game of lives, but at the moment we have captured thousands of data points from that, we have been able to start to see new things that we can do with that kind of device. And that's Uraxon 2.0. Basically, is the evolution of this first Uraxon. If you remember, in December of the last month, we presented this Uraxon paper, and we have evolved it to this new paper. There's a new paper already being published, of course, with a demo and everything. And there is a lot of interesting things. We can go next slide. This is just a demo, but we can go through a few of the things that are new here. One of the key points that we have explored is, of course, there is a lot of new science. You may think that 3 months or more or less is the time between the first paper and this one, and nothing happens, but it's the contrary. There's a lot of things new that happen. So we have been exploring all the literature relating to all the advances in neuroscience, because as you remember, with Uraxon, we want to embed the things that we know about the brain into this learning thing, this learning neurons or neuroxons that are going to learn and try to behave like a real human neuron does. So in that regard, we have continued to advance in different angles. One of them, for example, is regarding the neuromodulators. In the first Uraxon, we already have a few neuromodulators, but we have also included here more aspects of relating how they sync together. There is also like 9 new components to these 4 neuromodulators that work in sync. We have also expanded the capability of the trinary state. Basically, we have expanded, if you remember, iGarth is fully trinary. It's one of the basics of iGarth and the Qubic AI. If you remember from the first paper back, that's almost a couple of years ago, the first paper when we explored the iGarth evolution and everything regarding how iGarth is built, this trinary state, we have also improved this one, so we can also try to store more stuff. This is one of the things that we have explored here. We also find new ways to allow these neuroaxoners to keep remembering, and for that we have also included some of the brain science relating to the warping and the chronoplasticity. is one of the things that is related to that, and the astrocytes that are really connected to these things. So in fact, there are many changes. The code base is quite different. There are a lot of new things. We are at the moment also implementing all these changes in the game of life, because the game of life is a big thing that we use to keep improving. The current game of life that you have of course in GitHub and in Hugging Face is based on the first new Axon, and we are at the moment expanding these versions with these new ones, and also building one to record a huge dataset. Our goal is to capture a very huge dataset also of new Axoners, even bigger than the one from 1 million new Axoners that we released a few months ago. And we're also working also in how to integrate these new capabilities onto physical devices, and that's some of the things that we will reveal probably by next week. We have next slide, please, Steffi. Well, the new paper is already in GitHub. For these couple of days, we have 2,220 reads. That's good for a paper. A paper usually has that reach in all the lifetime, and it has been like the norm in the previous papers that we get like thousands of views, and we expect to have the same with this new Axon 2 paper. It includes plenty of references. There are close to 85 reference of updated papers. Some of them literally from the last week. So basically, we are not thinking about science as something that you can build only from the things from the past, but just from all the scientific work that is been involved. So we have expanded all that, and we have also included much more pseudocode, because we have seen that many of the conference that we are also looking forward to present this paper, and others that we have already presented. They ask a lot about this code, pseudocode, that also include how to go from the theory to something that is working. And in that regard, it is fully with code. You have all the code in GitHub, with also a few demos that you can explore there. Maybe next slide, Defi. And of course, we also, when we develop these models, we develop a companion app. The companion app basically is meant to try to put into a real thing, something that you can test, new Axon 2. And in Hugging Face, we have that too. This is, you have like plenty of parameters. Basically, this is just a companion of many of the parameters that you can change when you get into the new Axon side of Hugging Face. You can basically parameterize almost everything. Every aspect that we have developed in this new version is there. Is much longer than the previous one. And of course, you can build like the demo, like you see in the first image. You can build there. You can see how they behave and how these new 9 components that are very tied to these neuromodulators, how they behave. You can see that in real time if you execute the demo. Another interesting thing is that we have included here in this demo the capacity not only just to save as a JSON file the Axon architecture that you have created, between some parameters we have for not letting your computer to explode. We have just limited the number of hidden neurons to 100, but it can be, of course, bigger. In fact, in our test, we are testing with different sets. But of course, you can, save that models, and also you can save the model itself. One is fully built, and you start exploring how it behaves in the interactive 3D demo. You can also save the model, so you can start from the point where you live if you want to keep working. This is fully scientific. It's not just a demo for showing things. It's really the full new Axon thing. What you see behaving there. The same thing that if you execute the Python code and work with the Python itself. So I just encourage everybody looking at this AMA to please go to Hugging Face. Of course, give us a heart there. It's very important for you also if you go to the GitHub to give us some stars there, because that's a measure of how interesting a repository in GitHub is, and that is really fundamental. So we can really reach out to more people in the science side, in the machine learning and deep learning research, so they can start testing it. As you know, we are developing a new Axon fully open science. Basically, everybody can work with the code. Of course, we comply with when we hybridize, of course, with iGuard, we comply with all the requirements there. And another interesting aspect of the new Axon 2.0 is that we have included more capabilities to connect with the iGuard code. The iGuard code, as you know, at the moment there is only just one small repo. There is not the full thing is not there open at the moment. But with the things that are open, we have also included more things, because in the roadmap for the next months is also to start to integrate these the training of these parameters, as there are plenty of them, into the Qubic network. And in the next month also, we are going to explore the connection between having not just one new Axon brain somehow, but having the same brain, like different new Axon circles, as we are going to call them. So basically, the multi-new Axon could be. At the moment, the neuraxons are independent. Of course, they can one neuraxon that is living in neuraxon life can have like 100 neurons inside. But the thing is, we are going to create some different areas. Like in the brain, for example, you have a part of the brain that is, for example, the visual cortex, and the other is the auditory cortex. So we have that also included in this new version. Hello, Jose.
Hello, how are you?
All good. And maybe next slide, Defi, you can go there, Jose, if you want.
Yeah.
What have we been doing in the academy?
Yeah, we are as you all know, we have been delivering some articles regarding the Intelligence Academy regarding time mainly and trinary synapses. And now we are working on the concept of networks to make everybody reachable and understandable. And we are also working on a new article that's been delivered by the famous Nick Bostrom, who is has one of the most famous books about AI. And we are commenting from our perspective and from the Qubic perspective this article. So this is, as you know, a way to bring the science, or to bring what we do to the community, and to explain the science as much as we can to the community. So we are working on that, and you'll be noticed very soon about this, about the new.
Maybe you can go to the first slide again, and maybe Jose, if you want to tell us to the first one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that one is good, and maybe you can Jose tell us why it matters. Why it matters for someone that is not in the science side or whatever. Why it matters this neuraxon 2.0.
Maybe the next one, Defi, please. Yeah. As you know, the brain is really a very, very, very complex machine, but we are dealing with how we try to compute this kind of complexity into a computational model. And we have thought in this new version of Neuraxon 2.0 to add up some of the main features of the brain regarding the ideas that we have explored before, and the ideas of the trinary, of the third state, the ideas of decentralized networks. So we are adding more capabilities for the neuromodulators, which, as you all know, are related to what things we pay attention or not, what things seems that we can reach them and get a reward or not, even to put to the system some kind of a stress or not. And that's why we are increasing the complexity of the model. We are also working, as you may see in the bottom right, astrocytes. This is a way in the brain to relate different synapses. And the astrocytes are another kind of cells that they are very, very important to create networks. So we have considered that we could include this kind of bio-inspired computation. Also, as you may notice there, the oscillator bank and PAC coupling, it means that in the brain we have different networks, but they are pulsing at different rhythms. So we need to connect the networks somehow in a language. And in the brain, this language is related to time frequency. It means that it's alive. And in the neuraxon computation, we've thought about this. And as you know, for the future intelligent tissue unit from CFB, the idea of connecting different neuraxons or different ITUs, we need to create some kind of a language or communication between them. And in that sense, the theoretical concept is the PAC coupling. So we may gather all together in the garden of the networks. So with this kind of model, we're trying to offer a model even more bio-inspired. And of course, we have to deal with the complexity of the code and of the trials and different essays, and that's what we are having on.
Thank you very much for your support, everybody. Maybe Defi, I guess we have finished.
Yep.
Yes, thank you guys for that explanation. It's exciting.
Of course, if there's questions, we will be here till the end.
We're
to
here.
see the progress of your work. Yeah, so I have some questions coming in. We'll save them for the end.
Mhm.
And we will now dive into the tech updates. Let me add Jonim to the stage. Where are we here? Where did he go? Oh, here we go. Okay. Can we hear you? Are you there?
Yes. I should unmute my mic.
I'm having issues with that as well today.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Welcome everybody. I would say I just go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, today I'm gonna talk about some highlights. I always pick my own highlights from the last few weeks. And then I will introduce you to the new live roadmap we already talked about, and I will give you project updates on several projects we are working on, so that you have should have a roundup of the projects which are going on in the tech department. Let's start with my highlights. I would say yes, for me definitely is the Oracle Machine Live mainnet. So we are finally in the mainnet. We are experimenting with the Oracle machines, with Oracle requests, queries, replies, and all the things. For me, this is a pure highlight because it's the next step for integrating way more external workloads. Another one I picked out of the many things the devs did is the cleanup and extend documentation. We have now a new so-called API center where you can explore the Qubic APIs. It's yet not finished, but it already starts. So it's very nice to go there and see what the APIs Qubic offers. This also includes that we have automated Open API updates from the source code. Open API for the no devs here. This is like a standard interface description language where developers know how to communicate with APIs. So they don't have to do that on their own. They just use this Open API description, and then everything more or less works automated. And another nice new section is the execution fee explanation page, where you can get information about how smart contracts in Qubic are charged for their execution. And the last point on my highlight list is, of course, the approval of the updated governance and founding framework, which was approved yesterday by the computers. This is for me a big step forward to a well-organized organization around Qubic. Yeah, let's dive into the new live roadmap. You can find the URL, which is there. We use a product which is called Roadmap. We have included the core planning. We've included the client planning and also the incubation planning. So if you visit this URL, you will see always a live it's a live updated roadmap for the next 3 to 4 months. So you will be able to see what are the tech team working on, what are the milestones which are planned for the next week or for the next month or whatever. I hope that this gives you guys some insight on what we are doing, and it gives us the possibility to publish this in a regular manner. At least all hands we will publish an update, maybe even within the 2 weeks we can update that too. From a project perspective, we started 2 new main projects, which is the core optimization phase 1. I will talk about that a bit later. And also the Dogecoin integration has started a few days, weeks ago. And I'm also happy to close some projects. So we could close the update on the new iGuard algorithm, which is now running in the network. Internally, this is called Algo 1. So we had before Algo 0 and now Algo 1. Both can run simultaneously in the Qubic network. And the pools, the computers are switching now mostly to Algo 1 to support AGuard. And the other project which we could close is the execution fees. We closed that by adding the documentation I mentioned before. Let's deep dive into some project updates. I start with the Oracle machines. As already mentioned, we are live on the mainnet. Our internal tests were all successful. We are currently optimizing the query, the query performance, adding some other Oracle stuff, and mainly the next steps for March are we will introduce the new revenue calculation. So you have to so the computers run the Oracle machines, and now it's actually really nice. They are doing it for voluntarily, so they don't get any special revenue if they run or don't run. So they are doing it voluntarily, and starting from latest end of March, we plan to introduce the real revenue calculation for running Oracle machines. Means that computers which do not participate in the whole Oracle machine stuff, they would not get their 100% revenue because they do not participate. We will also add the so-called subscription feature, which means that smart contracts can subscribe, for example, for a price pair. Let's say I want to know the price from Qubic to USDT, and all the time the Oracle machine updates the price. The smart contracts got a notification, and they can act based on these subscriptions. And finally, when everything is running well, we will also update some of our internal smart contracts to use the oracles. This is, for example, the computer controlled found smart contract, which is able to pay out computer founds. This will be in future possible to be based, for example, on the price of Qubic. And what is not listed here, of course, is that the Dogecoin mining will also use Oracle machines as a first real-world use case on something I think you don't have on other oracles. It's something unique Qubic offers, so that is a nice catch. On the right side, you can see a picture I took that like 2 hours ago. It's where you can see that the testing which is ongoing on the network is quite heavy. So we have I don't see 11K successful completed Oracle queries. So the testers, we are doing internal tests, and also I see user testing. These are working quite well. One of the interesting numbers on this picture on the right is maybe the average success time. Let's call it time. This is counted in milliticks. Means that from querying an oracle until a success response, we have this 7.5k milliticks. Means that around 7 Qubic network ticks are needed to fulfill a Oracle query in average. And that's about Oracle machines. I go over to the Network Guardian projects. This is the project which we launched to extend the network reach around the world. We are currently in the closed beta phase. We have already online like 39 nodes. I'm happy that we see more light nodes than Bob nodes, to be honest, because the light nodes give us, let's say, the light nodes participate in the core network. They are basically like nodes in the network and strengthen the Qubic core network. What makes me happy is that we see that nodes are popping up all around the world. So we see them in the United States, we see them in South America. But we also have some nodes in Australia, and I also saw some in the Middle East, and of course Asia. What I'm currently missing are nodes in Africa. So if anybody of you guys has a data center, a server, or some infrastructure in Africa, please go to the Network Guardian channel and join our beta program to also spin up some nodes there. That would be really nice. For anybody who wants to follow the progress, can visit theguardians.qubic.org, and you will find all the information I published here, so you can also check that out on yourself. Then we have the update of the Dogecoin. Actually, this should be an animated slide. I was asked to give the community asked us to make a visualization or a diagram of how the Dogecoin is working. So in the design phase, in the brainstorming phase, we put everything on a white paper, like old school, and and for now, for the documentation, we made it a bit nice. So I do a very, very quick introduction on how Dogecoin mining on Qubic will work. If we start on the right side with the Doge pool server, this can be our own Doge pool server, or it can be some Doge pool server where we connect to. We will have the dispatcher, which is connecting to this pool server and doing like a bridging between the Qubic network and the Doge pool, the Doge network. On the left side, you see the miners. That's anyone who wants to participate. The miners will get their tasks from the Doge network through the dispatcher, through a custom pool server, and when they found a share or a Doge block, the whole way goes back to the Doge network. So that's a very high-level description. You will find a documentation later with more information publicly available. I can go to the next slide. As soon as we enter the computer documentation phase, which is planned for as a next step, so we start by end of February, we're gonna publish the computer documentation. This includes a technical specification, how the computers need to participate in the Doge mining, and also how the communication flows and everything is needed that the computer or a pool can join the game. Currently, finished tasks on the Dogecoin side is that we have finished the main architecture. So the design is clear, is everything ready? We are working on, or we have worked on the share validation, like it's how do we validate Doge shares within Qubic via Oracle. So that's an important step. And we are also working on a so-called community computer pool business consolidation. This means that Dogecoin is not just a technical project. So on one side, we have the technical side where we do the implementation. But on the other side, we have also the business impact to Qubic, which means that how do we use the revenue generated by Doge? Where does it flow? What does the miner receive from it? And for this, there is a dedicated group working on this to define the business side of the Dogecoin integration. Yeah, that's it about Doge. I'm looking forward to see the updates, especially the computer documentation, because this gives a more insight on how this everything will work in the future. Next project is the core optimization phase 1. This project has just kicked off. The goals of this project is to make the core more stable and speed up processing, especially the smart contract processing. We're getting more and more smart contracts, so we want to make sure that the core network stays at the more or less same speed as we have today. And on the other side, it's also important that we want to lower the entry barrier for new developers. So that means that by refactoring the code, we make it easier to read and easier to maintain. Also easier to read, for example, from AI or LLMs, which can help the developers then to add functionality to the core, to create smart contracts, and so on. The current task you're working on is the so-called smart contract state detection. This is a core functionality which will allow any smart contract developer that the core will detect automatically if some state has changed. And if nothing has changed, the core doesn't have to recalculate consensus stuff, because if nothing changed, we can just reuse the existing one. And this is basically a main speed optimization feature for the future. The next step on this project is we're going to introduce a so-called minimum fee for smart contract procedures. This means that contract developers can define a minimum fee for smart contract calls, which allows us to even reduce the fees they have to pay, because we can block requests before they enter the smart contract if they don't fulfill the minimum fee requirements. Yeah, let's go ahead. I summarized some other core updates. We are very happy with the Bob and Light nodes V1. They are both already used. We use it in the network recording project. We see a lot of orders running those nodes. The cool thing is we have now fully integrated in our continuous integration and continuous development pipelines. So the Bob and the Light nodes are actually updated in the same interval as the core nodes get updated automatically. So we are close to close the project, which should be by the end of February. We have as you remember, the new revenue algorithm, which was planned already by beginning of February. We had to suspend it because we shifted some resources to the Oracle machines. Because the Oracle machines now are online, we can restart the project next week. So the new revenue algorithm implementation project is gonna kick off next week. Yeah, we are ongoing on smart contract reviews, and we have also some internal rotation for the core release management, which gives the core devs some air to work to work more focused on their projects. Yeah, I see I have a lot of updates. I would like to give you some preview what's next on the list. So many people ask us, hey, yeah, it's nice to see what you're working on, but what you're going to plan in the next steps. So I give you 3 examples. What's already in the pipeline. One is the advanced AGOR algorithm upgrade. So we're gonna introduce a new algorithm which is allowing us to develop, mutate solutions over the current epoch boundaries. That's a big step for us, because this will also allow, for example, that we can use Neuraxon on the Qubic network, because they need, for example, an evolution of the let's say of the brain over several weeks, not just within 1 week. And yeah, that's what we're gonna work also together with the science team, so that we can merge let's call it some merge mining of Agard and Neuraxon in the Qubic network. That's basically one of the goals we have. And another nice step will be the increase of the network capacities. So we expect in the next few months to increase the number of transactions per tick. This is the physical number of transactions which can be issued by users. And we will also increase the maximum payload of transactions. This will allow, for example, to send more or bigger payloads within the network. Means, so if you have used the send many, if you want to send, for example, within one transaction to multiple recipients, currently you're limited to 25 recipients with one transaction. So if you double the payload, you could send it theoretically to like 50. So that's basically, we're increasing the network capacities to allow more use cases in the future. I go over to some client or integration projects. We have one important one, which is called the RPC event log integration. So the main goals for this project is to allow users to receive known events from RPC. This will also enable the Explorer wallets or other products to display event logs. The ones who doesn't know or doesn't know what event logs are, these are the internal transfers of Qubic. So basically, if a smart contract internally does something, it emits an event, and we want to make sure that the users can see those events. So like internal network events are then available via RPC or let's say Explorer wallets for the end user. And the main challenge on this project is to have a long-term storage. So we do not just want to have it for 1 or 2 epochs or maybe 5 epochs. No, we want to have it like, yeah, let's don't say forever, but like a very, very large time. Means that we are starting by end of February with a closed beta, which is like internal, connecting the existing Explorer and trying to visualize already existing events on the Explorer so that you guys can get it from there. Another new project which was kicked off is a so-called browser wallet extension. This will extend the available wallets which already exist. The main goal is that you can use the browser extension to connect to the apps. The apps like Qubic Trade or like Qearn or any other app which exists already in the ecosystem. Right now, if you want to connect your wallet, you need to use your mobile, your Android or your iOS app to connect your wallet. And with the browser extension, you can also do it on your desktop computer very easily, which is for us a very important task. So they already started with the alpha release, like internal testing. So the devs and the product owners are testing the product already, and we expect to have the first public beta release by mid of March. So stay tuned to get also the new browser extension for Qubic. A summarized client service update is the team is working on so-called Qubic metrics, which is adding many users request some metrics about the Qubic network, and they ask, hey, where can we find this? And that's why the product team around the Explorer decided to add it to the Explorer so that you guys can get some metrics from there. The same is for the notification service. So if you want to get notified if there is an incoming transaction or is there is some change in my wallet or something like this, there's also this notification service. And the third one, which is in the design phase currently, is we call this API case. Means that we're going to protect the shared middleware from abuse. We're going to enable fair rate limits on it so that the ecosystem projects do not can access the APIs without hitting the current rate limit. So we basically want to enable broader access without limiting the ecosystem projects. And for all these 3 projects, Sally, which is leading those products, told me she would be really happy to get feedback from you, from the community. So if you have any wish for metrics, for notification services, or accessing APIs, please reach out to us. You can use the dev channel. You can write, I guess, to Sally directly, or use any channel in the Qubic Discord and share your opinion, share your feedback, share your needs on those very nice updates. Yes, I talked a lot today. I'm really sorry, but I finished.
Well, thank you for all of those updates. I think it's safe to say that you do not sleep and
Nope.
you guys are cooking. So this is good news for everybody in the community. A lot of exciting updates. And now we are going to go through the incubation. Mr. Rose, you want to come to the stage?
Hello there.
Hello, how are you?
All good. I'm definitely going to be brief than so no worries that we will finish on time. Actually, I just have one slide to share with you. That is to update you on the pipeline of projects that we have currently. Regarding Solana Bridge, as you know, there's a smart contract developer vacancy. I'm aware that Tokenoya, the project lead of Solana Bridge, is conducting some interviews. But in any case, this is a call for all of you developers out there that if you want to join a very challenging project, which is very challenging and one of the most relevant ones that we have so far in scope, just feel free to reach out to me or reach out to Tokenoya of any of the work group leads. We will contact one each other. This unfortunately incurs in some delays. The team still hasn't quantified the amount of delay, so we don't know if we're talking about a few days or a couple of weeks. Shouldn't be any further than that. Going to Bottom Bridge, actually the results of the audit were expected yesterday evening. We contacted today to Certic, the auditor, but we're still pending a reply from their side. We'll see. We have no more information about that. We are continuously monitoring the situation, but yeah, we'll keep you updated as soon as we have some information. Regarding OTC, also the smart contract is being audited by Mundus in this case. I'm aware that they finalized the first round, so first out of 3 rounds. So there are still 2 more rounds remaining, 1 week per round more or less. This should go, so the proposal should go to quorum within 2 weeks, I guess, if everything goes as expected. Going to QSwap, in this case, the team is running a little bit late. There's a slight delay that we estimate in 10 days, more or less, because they should be delivering milestone 4 days ago, actually, and they're still developing a milestone 3, which is not a big problem, because we are aware that developers are working on it, and as you know, delays in tech are business as usual. So yeah, nothing to worry about here. And finally, Nostromo. As you can see here, we say that the community is taking over, so the past developers are handing it over to the community. I know that, well, maybe I'm not sure that he's the lead per se, but I know that Fletcher is coordinating with all the shareholders the next steps, the next move. We are supporting them. analyzing what could be the next phase, or basically what do they need to submit for a potential proposal. So yes, we don't know if, how to explain this. Nostromo is going to continue, that for sure, because there's a group that already coordinates to take over, but not sure that it will be under Incubation project's umbrella, or they will go free solo via CCF, or we need to discuss this yet. But definitely Nostromo is not dead at all. So that's the main message that I wanted to share with you. On a side note, we'll be working regarding the governance framework. So you know that there are some pending things, some pending vacancies and entities that still need to be filled, like the auditing entity. I will be working on the requirements the next week. I mean, the next days. So yeah, this is an ongoing task too, that we from Incubation will be supporting Qubic also. That's all on my side, Defim. This time I was very, very brief.
Yes, thank you for that. Appreciate the updates, and we will be moving along to marketing. So I'll stick with you. Thank you, Mr. Rose.
Thanks.
Okay, awesome. So for the period of February 1st through the 17th, we had 178 organic opt-ins via Opt-in Monk, just over 1 million total X and LinkedIn organic impressions. And we've had 48,000 unique visitors to our website over the last 30 days. And our paid media has been performing really well on the same budget that we're trying to adhere to for previous months, but we're getting a much better cost. So we are able to make a bigger impact in terms of impressions and impact. So 8,496,000 X paid ad impressions. So the total is 9.56 million impressions in the 17 days of February. So that's really great. Here's how our ads have performed. I think in the month of December, we had a very similar number of impressions for a ad budget that was not quite double this, but more than $4,000. So you can see that we're continuing to optimize and streamline our budget and increase our exposure. And our organic social impressions over this last 17 days of February has been 1.07 million collectively over X and LinkedIn. We finally were able to actually obtain the access to our YouTube account. So we're actually streaming live on YouTube, which is a big accomplishment. And so we hope to do more things on YouTube as well. And I'll explain some of that in just a minute. Our SEO score. This is something that we've been working on really diligently for this period. It's something that we have been talking about and we are actively implementing on many levels. There's a lot of different team members that are involved in the process because it's not a one-time fix. It's something that happens over time. And so it was exciting news when we logged in and we saw that our SEO score had increased overall to 2.727. Now, what does that mean? It represents a dollar value of what it would cost to pay Google to rank for these exact results. So it's $2,727 of value on a monthly basis that we are obtaining through organic SEO. And you can see it was up around 120. I'm sorry, it was up $1,200 for this period. And this is something, again, the results have to compound over time. So when we're publishing these updates, they're not automatically indexed by Google. It does take time. And so this is kind of like a slow burn, and we're starting to see the impact of what we're putting in place now, which is quite exciting. And then where we are currently and what we are doing for the next several weeks into the next month of our term. And that is that we're continuing to optimize what is working across paid, organic, and community-driven channels. We have a Neuraction 2.0 press release that has been approved today and is being published. So that should bring us some exciting traction. We have a new Qubic press page. I'm just going to press live in the chat so you guys can check it out. It is basically an aggregator of all of the publications and press that we have received at Qubic. There's some really impressive ones that have come recently and more to follow, hopefully. We are in talks currently with Hacker Noon to publish an article about AI in the open versus, the traditional OpenAI or Anthropic that's being developed in, behind closed doors. We are starting to run traffic to top performing blog articles to increase organic visibility to our pages. We are publishing long form SEO blog articles. They will live in the background of our site. The purpose of that is to start ranking for relevant keywords across the board of both AI and crypto. We have 10 guest articles that we are ready to publish on Medium. We are continuing to implement our current SEO plan with the team. There were a lot of things that we had to update on our site and probably just weren't paid attention to for quite some time. So we are getting on top of that. I think there were about 1,800 changes. I know that we've probably gone through at least 1,000 of them so far. So we are chipping away at that, and we will continue to do so over the next couple of weeks. We have a Doge domination plan that is in the works, and we are ready to fire it off on all cylinders. We are doing everything that we are doing in this very succinct order because we are gearing up to prepare for the firework display for Doge. And that's going to be paid, organic, press, etc. So we want to position ourselves accordingly so that we're starting to get the visibility and traction, and then we can introduce Doge. We want to start building a presence on Reddit because we think it's also very important for SEO purposes. And we are translating our website currently. We are testing it in Portuguese because we have a large Brazilian audience as a starting point, but our goal is to start with 5 languages to translate it and then push it out to any language that's necessary. So I know there's a lot of Qubic members that are all over the world, and we, it's been something that's been on our agenda, but we're actually making it happen now. So that's what we got going on, just a few things. And that's all I have here for today. We're going to turn it over to the governance framework. I think it's going to be Jodam. Is that correct? And thank you, Mickey, for the compliment.
Well, I can say something. I think it's just one slide to say, hey, yes, it was approved.
Oops.
Sorry. Yeah. So Mr. Rose already mentioned it. So this approval gives us the justification to work on. Means that we will start with the execution plan, which we already shared. There is a similar to the tech roadmap, we have a governance framework roadmap, which we will share the link to it. I think we don't have a slide which is showing it. No, we don't have. So yeah, you can follow the progress of the governance framework with the roadmap. The next step is, as Mr. Rose mentioned, to define the boundaries of the I'm sorry. For the auditing entity. So that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, there's mainly Mr. Rose and Kim's are working on that. That's why I thought they will join. I'm not sure if they're here. Yes, Mr. Rose is here, so I can add him. And Kim's is already here, right? So if somebody. Yeah, very nice. So yeah, guys, maybe you have some more insights on what's going on next, because yeah, I'm just a communicator at this stage at the moment.
Yep. If you don't mind, Kim, I can speak about the auditing entity. So now we step in what we call the phase 2. So the trying to fill in the gaps, and we have especially 2 main ones. One is the auditing entity. So as you know, we wanted to be fully transparent in terms of how funds are spend, but at the same time, we want to create some sort of privacy or contingency layer. So we consider that a third party should audit us and satisfy the information needs of the community. Said this, I will be working on the initial requirements. We'll share it also with you because we are just the executors. So we want the community also to be part of this process. So the idea is we will draft some requirements, we'll share with you, we improve the request, and then the idea is to find who can execute this work. That's on one side, so regarding the financial auditing entity. But also we need to fulfill the strategic board. Don't know, Kim, if you're, if you can speak or you want to go ahead with this part. If not, I can do it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just sorry, my camera is off because I'm not dressed for the occasion. So, actually, for the auditing entity, we are, as you said, Mr. Rose, we will define the criteria. We will get feedback from the community, and if we have a go ahead, then we will start to check from now. Actually, I started to develop a list of firms that provide such a service, so it can be approached upon we complete the criteria and be clear how they will execute based on our criteria, etc. So we can have a clear negotiation with them. Regarding the strategic board, I think we're gonna follow the same what we did in the incubation board and listing board. I'm just not that involved in that frame, but for the auditing, I think me and you will start working on this in this aspect to get it done.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
as you can see, we will work together, but both for the financing auditing entity and also for the strategic board, what I was referring before, because the strategic board is composed by the work group leads, some computers delegates, because we want to count on them for relevant decisions, what we call advisors or third-party members, maybe community ones, that we consider their voice is relevant for certain matters. Said this, we need to fulfill the computers delegate. So this is another task that we'll be performing, basically identifying who's the representative of each of the pools that collaborated within Qubic. That's the main goal. And yeah, back to you, Jotun.
It's all good. I think we can invite Defi to the stage and go to the questions and answers.
Fantastic.
Okay, guys, thank you. Sounds good. All right, let's go jump into some Q&A. If you guys are just joining us and you haven't had an opportunity and you have any questions about what we're doing here, it's your first time, you're new to Qubic, you're not new to Qubic, whatever questions you have, please drop them in the chat. We do have somebody from the team that's moderating it right now. The first question is, this is for Devancos and Jose. Is there a way right now that coders can interact with the digital brain? I'm going to add you guys to the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. You're muted. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Yes, people can check the code in GitHub, in Hugging Face, and everything's open source, so they can do their own test, and they can develop their own theories and practicalities with all that we are doing. So it's available for everybody.
Yeah, we want the scientific community also to tap in and basically use this code and create like different angles. As you know, we are focusing on science, but maybe somebody wants to use it for LLMs or for other stuff, and that can be very challenging to see how they start to behave on different things. We have in the roadmap also some of for months more in the deeper year to work in things like that. But I think everybody can now test it. Regarding if there is going to be a brain like so, at the moment, basically you can create that small brains in your own computers if you fork the code and start working with it. But once it is in the Qubic network, we go from the phase of the training to the phase of the execution somehow, and to have this live thing that is always on and always learning. Because if you remember the difference between Uraxon and the LLMs and all the other basically AI slop, we can call it, is that basically all they do is just they train the networks to learn with, I don't know, whatever they want, with videos, with images, with sounds, with whatever. And then they basically just use that to deploy to inference. No? And here is totally different. It's going to be something that is alive, and since it's going to be alive, it can be changing. So basically, depending on what it's going to be learning or working with at every point in time is going to change. So basically, we don't have yet a fully Nuraxon all time alive. We are not there in this phase, but in theory, it could be. You can have a service, maybe, I don't know, in the cloud or whatever, with a Nuraxon always on. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Always on, always learning, always evolving. That's the excitement about it. Okay, so next question. This is the question that comes up every AMA, so I'm not surprised. When exchange listings? Any exchange listings? Does anyone want to take
Yeah,
that question?
it's always the case about the listing, but the thing is that we are keeping the conversation ongoing with some exchanges, and we are trying to find the best ground and best terms for us for Quebec before proceeding further or taking step forward. Uh, for now, we have like 2 or 3 conversation, and also we are in a conversation for another on ramper, on ramping off and on with services. And also I had a meeting with a DEX, which is very interesting, and we are trying just to find, the all the blockage points, especially the technical part, and we're trying to find a way how we can be able to have a partnership with the DEX. So mainly those points is there, but for the exchange listing, uh, it's a slow now, as we agree that for now the market situation is not favorable to any new listing or putting any money in new listing. Yet we been approached by some exchanges, and we are approaching other exchanges. But in terms of if we have like the best terms that fits our need and requirement right now, then we will proceed further. Hopefully, with the coming month or something, we can have more about it.
I'd like to add to the conversation because it's not it extends beyond exchanges. So, we're not going to sit here and tell you that the crypto market is not in the best shape at the moment. I think we can all acknowledge that. We don't have to pretend that the price is where we would all like it to be at the moment. But what that does is it forces efficiency. So, all of our budgets, we're running in a more leaner way that actually is of benefit, I believe, long term. And so when we're looking at where we're spending our budgets, we're really questioning what are the best moves to make for the long-term vision of Qubic. With that being said, if we were to pay an exchange listing in Qubic now, and the price of Qubic, changes and obviously goes up tremendously, let's say the 3 or 5x, I'm just making this up hypothetically, right? I don't have my crystal ball out, but the point of me saying that is our buying power becomes that much greater. So would we not want to look at this opportunity and say, let's wait, because instead of maybe getting one decent exchange partner, we can get 2 incredible exchange partners in the future for the same amount of money. I think that's like how we have to run all of our budgets from a strategic point of view to make them go as far as we can make them go with the budgets that we have at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why we have the listing board, and they are aware totally about the situation. And that's why I run every decision, through them. I believe also that the strategy right now is just to check for the free listing, and just hold or pause any listing that has significant amount of money right now, because it will not be in our favor at the moment.
The thing is that you're still going out there, you're still turning on over stones, you're still building the relationships, you're still having the conversations. That part is not stopping. So
No,
that
no, of course not.
when the
Yeah.
time is right, we will circle back around and make sure that we can get these powerful exchange listings. We're not saying it's not going to happen. It's just that right now we have to be intentional about where we spend our budgets. So, okay. Another question for the scientific team. Somebody is interested in interacting with Neuraction, and they're asking if there is a public API.
Mhm. Well, at the moment, we haven't developed the API. It could be developed because it's in GitHub. So basically, it's very easy to convert this into an API. But basically, you can fork the code and you can build. There is some functions that are already built into the basic code, and also the game of life itself is fully open source. So basically, you can start working with that. Regarding if there is going to be an API to use it in the cloud, at the moment says there is no cloud per se for Neuraction. Basically, is not developed to work like so. There is not, but in the future, once it's in the cloud, basically we have it 24/7 Neuraction living. It could be, but yeah, as we say, it's fully open source. Basically, everybody can fork it, and it's not very complex to integrate that kind of behaviors to create an SDK for something. Yeah.
Okay, great. The mining algo changes have benefited CPU's performance. Is this in preparation for the Doge useful proof of work?
I guess I have to answer that. No, because the Doge is mainly ASICs based, so it's not. We have to differ. So right now we have this scheme that we say we have AI iGuard Qubic mining on one side, and on the other side we do XMR, and we do this either Qubic XMR, Qubic XMR. So we do this separately, and in the future, as soon as we go with Doge, it will be parallel. So we will have the AI training and the Doge mining at the same time. So it will not be that we say all the CPU or GPUs are kicked out of Qubic because they cannot compete with ASICs. And on the other side, we cannot say we kick out the ASICs because we need CPU and GPU for the AI guard part. And that's what I already mentioned today, is that this is like the business part of the Doge mining, which is currently also designed by the community pools and computers. So we have to decide on how to split the rewards coming from Doge, how should CPU, GPU, or ASICs be rewarded. So that's basically the business part of the Doge project.
I like it. Okay, that sounds good. I have a couple more questions here. I'd like to bring a narrative story to Qubic. How can I build brand presence through Qubic if possible? Reach out to me. Hello, DeFi Mama. You can reach me on X. You can reach me on Discord. I'm happy to collaborate with you, explore opportunities. Okay. How is the useful proof of work AI training progressing in real terms? Have there been measurable improvements in model performance from minor contributions? And are there public benchmarks for demos coming soon?
I try to explain. There is, I mean, this useful proof of work on AGuard side is basically research part. So we are evolving the model or the research we do on iGuard side. This is also connected with the Nurexon part, and these different algorithms we introduce, they are going to do specific tasks for AGuard. What I cannot tell you guys is what AGuard is doing it exactly. So they are using the results we deliver, or let's say the results coming from the miners flow to the iGuard team, and they are using them to evolve their strategy or their research. And no, as far as I know, there is no benchmark right now. So maybe this is something we could take into consideration for the future to cooperate with the AGuard team, that we can have some kind of output on what's going on.
Okay, awesome. Scientific team. In a simple sentence, what is the difference between Neuraction 2.0 and a traditional LLM?
Well, traditional LLM, basically, there's a difference between training and inference. In Neuraxon, there is not. It's alive. That's the simplest thing. So basically, we are not building something that is going to be trained first, and then you're going to use it, because otherwise it's going to be forget. We're building something that is alive and is not fixed. So the LLMs are basically a snapshot in time, even if they can use tools, or they can use web browser or search and everything. But in the case of Neuraxon, it is basically always on and always learning. That's maybe the key difference. Now, if you also want to, while driving, you want to add up something?
I think that the LLMs are just probability tokens of words based in language and based, as you said, in previous data. And the Neuraxon is a simulation about how the brain works, because we know that intelligence comes from the brain and from the nervous system. So this is the very key difference.
I also want to encourage.
It's one thing, and it's also all about senses and about the capability to interact. So the thing is, when you train an LLM, there is no senses, there is no the input basically is basically what you give it. But in the case of Neuraxon, it could have senses somehow. It could, and of course, one of the things that could be is embodied with some sort of physical forms, and that's key also for intelligence. You don't live in a box. So basically, you live also in interacting with the exterior and modeling the world. It's one of the things that is very trendy at the moment. There's world models, and it will be more similar in somehow to the new world models that are starting to pop up.
I would encourage, I think Chad asked that question. I would encourage you to visit our blog, because we published an article specifically about this in the last week or so. So I think you will get a lot of clarification on the main distinction between Neuraction 2.0 and an LLM. So, okay, is there any new additional mechanism for burning to rapidly reduce the quantity of coins in circulation? I mean, you can answer that. I think we could all answer that, but go ahead.
No, actually, this is the main driver for burning is the use of the network. So the one who is asking should either use smart contracts, should use oracles, should build something on Qubic. So that's basically the main driver for burning, in my opinion.
Yeah. So oracles, when there's a query, it burns the fee. Execution fees, the person that prompts the use of the contract, it burns the fee. They do the ask, it burns the fee. Obviously, more usage, more fees burning, mining XMR and Tari at the moment, and then mining Doge in the future. So these are all mechanisms built into the protocol that are burning it over time. One thing also, in addition to the burn, is that we have a 52 every 52 epochs, which is every 52 weeks. We go up for the ability to have the remaining supply. So we have a halving coming up. I think it was August of 2025. So the next one will be August of 2026. And so that would dramatically dramatically decrease the circulating supply. So another way to reduce the supply. So all things that are just coded into Qubic. So stay tuned. Let's see. Are there any partnerships or enterprise pilots in the pipeline? These are really good questions today, guys. My goodness. For using Qubic's computation layer in finance, gaming, or supply chain AI applications this year?
Okay, for the using the computing power, actually, we need first to develop a business case because there is no business case for it right now. And I'm working on the ideas. I'm telling you the ideas of the business case in order to approach institutions and projects that require computing power, like gaming or 3D rendering or whatever. So there is a lot of aspects that we need to agree upon and to complete first before starting approaching potential customers regarding renting our computing power. So I started to have gathering a lot of information, and I'm already with the core tech dev team channel where we will discuss more in details how we can provide such a service. And because at the end of the day, end users will need user-friendly interface. We need to understand how this will have an impact on our protocol or our mining plan, etc. So there is a lot of aspects that we need to agree on and to move forward and start approaching potential customer in that regard.
I think there are a lot of opportunities that are there, and the space is evolving so quickly that new opportunities are presenting themselves on a regular basis, and that is something that we are internally talking about how to approach and best utilize what we have access to here at Qubic on an enterprise level. So I think, yes, to answer your question. As a newbie to programming, what languages of code is associated with building and working with Qubic?
Actually, you can use any language you want. It depends on the layer. So if you want to go in deep into the core, then you need to use C++. So there is no way around this. And it's not just standard C++. It's even a bit customized because the most of you know that Qubic is running in the AFI, in the WAFI environment, which has some specific clause around which you need to respect when you code. As soon as it goes to a higher level, any language is appropriate. So we offer already frameworks for .NET, for TypeScript, JavaScript, for I think there is a Rust framework, a Go, and so on. So up to you.
Okay. Has the guys' interactions with CFB increased in the last 4 months? I don't exactly know what that means, but yes, we do communicate with him. He's actually like a real person. So I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Quick question. Is your useful proof of work system in your useful proof of work system, how exactly does the network decide which AI training tasks get prioritized among the computers? And can you give a simple real world analogy for it?
Well, right now the decision what is worked on is decided by the core team, or let's say by CFP, because we are doing the research for AGORD. The future will be that most probably the computers can decide. So imagine that you can, let's say you have a cancer research and you want to do some stuff, and so you could go to Qubic and say, hey, I need compute power to calculate XYZ. I offer $20, and then the computers can decide if they want to pick your task or not. So it could be like a marketplace. That's one of the ideas. It's just an idea right now. But basically, yeah, the computer at the end, the computers will decide which tasks to pick. That can be multiple tasks. That's what we have introduced a few weeks ago, where we can have multiple tasks running on the network, and this will increase. I'm happy to repeat the church pray I do. Like in Qubic, we have these three pillars. We have the smart contracts, we have the Oracle machines, and we have outsourced computing. And as soon as these three pillars are ready to be used, this marketplace or these enterprise engagements can go into the network. To be honest, right now we have the smart contracts live. This is running. We are finishing the Oracle machines, so we have the two pillars ready, and we are missing the last one, which is the outsourced computing pillar. And this is planned as one of the next steps as soon as the oracles are ready. So yeah, then after that, I see these possibilities.
I think basically what you're saying in the most simplest terms is that we can't put the cart before the horse. So one cannot exist with the other. So it's going to open a tremendous amount of opportunities when these three pillars are integrated and ready to go. So that is what's required first, but we are thinking of all of these ways. Yes, absolutely. Let's see if we can squeeze one more question in here. And will Agarth, the first AGI, I guess, will Agarth be the first AGI in the world? Causing it to dominate all others? Okay.
Good question. Well, I guess there are going to be many AGIs. I think it's a bit, and I do think that there's going to be only one, but yeah, one to dominate everyone. If you want to look at science fiction movies, that's the way. But I guess there will be many AGIs. The thing is, like they're going to be different AGIs. That's my take anyway. And that is, we want to differentiate in somehow. If we are going to be first, we don't know. It's the road to be built yet. We are working in that direction, but of course there are many players. So there are going to be many. So that'll be my answer. I don't think there's going to be only one. The thing is, and the best, that's something that is going to be decided, because intelligence is something that we must build. So yeah, let's build it.
And add that maybe we are the first or one of the ones which are not owned by a company. So that's the important thing.
Sure,
so what we are building is a decentralized AGI, which is not common in the world right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, we're hoping to push out an article with Hacker Noon on exactly that. What is the difference between creating decentralized AI or AGI in open forum for everyone to see, and what is happening with all of these, I guess, enterprise AI solutions that are all being developed behind closed doors. So yeah, it's exciting stuff, guys. And maybe one last question, because we want to cross the 5,000 viewer mark. Okay, because we're going to set a record today here. Okay, so is 2027 a realistic date from the scientist's view, showing first Qubic AGI signs?
Well, this is a question that we don't have an answer for that, but of course we are aiming that direction. The thing regarding AGI is that it's very close. So basically, everything that happens in the open world and the open science helps everybody. So basically, we are of course reading and of course and very keen of see what is happening in the open science world, and because we are also collaborating there. So yeah, there are a lot of things moving into that direction. So computation is moving forward. Energy is one of the things that is also moving in that direction. So 2027 could be the year of AGI. We don't know that for sure because, as I say previously, with the path is not built. But of course, everything is moving quite fast at the moment. Just things that we thought were science fiction just last week, they are reality today. Yeah, I don't know. And every new model helps, because even if LLMs are not the way to reach AGI, they help a lot, because of course we use them to code, we use them for many things, and it can help to pave the way move forward. So yes, it's moving quite fast. Just between this, we are in this call, a new model from Google has just been released, the 3.1 Pro version. So everything happens quite fast. So yes, could be.
Yeah.
It's possible, yeah.
Okay, guys. The last way we'll wrap this up is how exactly will AI agents use Qubic in the future? And I think, and he gave some examples. And the thing is, it's not limited. I think that's what you have to understand. If people want to plug into the network and have their own use case of Qubic, it will be free to do that. And that's the beauty of what we're doing here. So we're, the core tech team, the scientific team doing the research, and the team being led by Agarth, they're all implementing that so that you have accessibility. And that's truly the beauty of decentralized AI and Qubic. And yes, we have officially crossed the 5,000 view mark. Okay. Yes, guys, I see on my end more than you do because there's a little lag in the stream, but thank you everyone for being here today. I think there was a lot of really useful information that we shared. Please continue to plug into our upcoming streams. We do this, the Community All Hands, twice a month on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. UTC. On the off weeks, we do have a proposal AMA on Tuesdays, same time. If you have a proposal that you would like to put on Qubic and you don't quite understand how, we have now a workflow on exactly how to do that. Is live on our website. You can also chime into our Discord and ask any of us questions in the general chat, the marketing think tank, anything like that. And as always, we appreciate you guys. We could not do this without you. So thank you very much. And we will talk to you soon.
Thanks.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,